Haunter, will prosecutor Juan Martinez play these interviews for the new jury in open court? We got two prosecution, two defense, and a judge. I'm going to start with, well, Anahita said it got far.
Well, Jane, first, I want to commend you as well for writing your book. I had a chance to read some of it today.
It's not required to say that.
You have really provided some excellent new information that really sort of explains who Jodi Arias really is and why she did what she did. And I think really you're making us talk about bigger issues with respect to the criminal justice system, such as why these jurors didn't get to see a lot of this evidence and the rules of evidence and things like that. So I want to really commend you. Now,
thank you.
In terms of the sentencing phase, you're welcome. I think what the defense needs to do at this point is really embrace the fact that Jodi Arias is crazy, that she's not playing with the full deck of cards. I think one of the things that they failed to do during the initial case is embrace the fact that Jodi has borderline personality disorder. I think they should have embraced Dr. DeMarte's diagnosis instead of trying to fight it. Now, I'm not saying that would have given an acquittal in this case, but it might have gotten her a murder to or manslaughter conviction. So I think moving forward, they should focus on that. They should show these tapes. They should show that she's going on a media tour when those jurors are deciding whether she lives or dies.
Does anybody disagree?
Not a normal person. That's a mitigating factor, Jane.
I disagree.
Think that's the route.
Okay, Judge Seidlin.
Yeah. We know, Jane, and
it didn't work the last time.
I'm very worried.
Well, it did in the sense that it was a hung jury.
Wendy, I think, Wendy, you are not giving the jurors enough credit here. I mean, to say that they didn't put her to death because they were sexually aroused by Jodi Arias. I mean, they took their job seriously.
Yep.
And I think that's doing a very big disservice to the jurors. And will Jodi take the stand? Yes, she will take the stand. She's on trial for her life. Of course she's going to take the stand. And you know what, Jane? She should take the stand because we saw this already in the initial phase of the trial. And I've said this all along. A lot of people disagreed with me that her taking the stand humanizes her. Whether those jurors like her or not, we see they didn't like her.
No,
they thought she was a liar.
It did not
guess what?
her.
They couldn't put her to
Okay, hold on. Listen, I want to go to Sean Alexander, Travis Alexander's former roommate and a dear friend of the victim. I mean,
mother and family members to the stand. It's unethical, but it happens a lot, and the Ninth Circuit allows it, and it's an embarrassment.
All right, Anahita, go.
Jane, are we forgetting the fact that these attorneys have spent 5 years of their lives trying to save Jodi Arias' life, and she basically threw them under the bus repeatedly, didn't follow their instructions, was speaking to the media when the jurors were deliberating whether or not she's going to die, telling the reporters
that wasn't strategic. How naive are you? That was planned. That was obviously planned to give the defense a reason to go to the judge and
violate motions.
All right, everybody, knock it off.
We need to
knock it off.
All right, listen.
I think that you are making these huge.
Basta. Let me bring in. Okay, go ahead.
Quiet down, everyone.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Wendy is absolutely right that the Ninth Circuit looks at ineffective assistance and seems to rule on the side of the criminal.
There are 20 years of cases where this never happened.
Please let him speak. Let him speak.
But you can't discount everything else that has gone on.
I need my gavel back. Let him speak, Danny.
Can we get a gavel?
Yeah.
Sorry,
the bottom line is attorneys are in it to win it. Kirk Nurmi's statement there is when he said that some days I don't like Jodi Arias. That's pretty common, that statement. It sort of humanizes